All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Afrikana Independent Film Festival 2020. My name is Daryl Fraser, and I'll be your moderator for this particular set of films. The films that we just viewed were Heart of the City by Artemis Jenkins, Concrete by Quincy M. Coppage, and The Spirit Never Dies, Only Transitions by Logan Lynette. So let me take some time to introduce myself. My name is Dan. I am a licensed clinical social worker from Richmond, Virginia. I'm also a professor at a local university, Virginia Commonwealth University. So I was asked to moderate this discussion by Anjali Moon. So I want to shout her out and thank her for asking me to be a part of this event. Um, I also want to acknowledge the fact that she's doing Africana for numerous years, and it's definitely a staple here in Richmond. So again, I want to acknowledge that. So let's get to our artists. I want the artists to introduce themselves. And when you introduce yourself, please tell us your name, where you're from. Um, tell us, tell us, the name of the piece that we reviewed today, and talk to me a little bit about, your artistry and the types of art that you delve into. How would you describe yourself as an artist? So, who would like to go first? Let's start with Logan.
Hello, I'm Logan Lynette. I'm currently based in Atlanta, Georgia. My film is Spirit Never Dies, Only Transitions. I do photography and filmmaking, focusing on documentary of Black existence.
All right. Well, thank you, Logan. And let's hear from Quincy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Quincy Coppage. I am the director of Concrete, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia, by the way, if I haven't said that already. And I like to create films that are personal to me, but can also become personal for other people, and can just kind of that people can relate to without me giving a lot of background context to. Yeah.
Thank you. And last but definitely not least, we'll hear from Artemis Jenkins.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Artemis Jenkins. I'm Baltimore bred, Atlanta based. I'm a documentarian, and I primarily express that through film and photos, centering my work around just documenting Black existence as well. Just being a perspective that lets people know that we did a little more than just suffered, and all the things that they say we do.
That's dope. So let's get into it. My first question to y'all, and you could just jump in. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for each of your pieces. Logan, what was the inspiration for The Spirit Never Dies, Only Transition?
I've moved around a lot and have just been able to be immersed in these different Black communities. And I'm very interested in ritual and how how we keep it going, throughout history and into now. And just like these different versions of, what is church, what is releasing, what is prayer. So that's my main inspiration behind the film.
Okay, thank you, Logan. How about you, Artemis? What was your inspiration for Heart of the City?
Heart of the City is, I think, something that's just been inspired by a lot of different aspects of growing up being a Black man, or Black boy at some point in America, and just like all of the things that you gotta begin to process as a young person, and how quickly you have to grow up and have a different understanding of the world, and then even how that understanding of the world affects your relationships with the people around you, and how you interact with them. So I guess that general idea is something that I was looking for, someone to work with that could understand that, and was translating that through their art as well. So I looked to do something that was blending what I was doing already as a documentary filmmaker and a music video director into one piece.
Right. Thank you. And Quincy, what was the inspiration for your piece, Concrete?
Well, Concrete was inspired by a few different things. One of the things that I can say that it was inspired by a lot is one of Kendrick Lamar's album. It's titled D. And he has a quote in there that's what happens on earth stays on earth. And that quote related a lot to my life. And, I just kind of, when I heard it, I had heard the album plenty of times, but it was one time when I listened to it and I was going through so much in my life that it kind of like set my heart a little bit differently, that quote, what happens on earth stays on earth. And it kind of made me think about all of the decisions that I've made in my life and how once I'm dead and gone, everything that I've done, everything I've created will always be here. And I feel like any artist can relate to that. So that's what this, stems from. And, in the film, like both of the characters are praying. And that was something that I was starting to get back into at that point in my life, was prayer. Because I felt like I had kind of got away from, God, just getting lost in the world and everything. And that was the inspiration for it.
Wow. I really appreciate you sharing that, because you explained that helped me to go back and understand that a little bit better, your piece a little bit better, in the praying piece. It's interesting because I'm not a movie critic, and I've had to kind of look at this through a different lens. I'm a social worker, right? And a lot of what we do as social work, a lot of what we talk about is issues of social justice, right? Things that are happening in the communities. And I think what I've seen from both of your pieces is, or all three of your pieces, is that you all were able to capture these moments of Black life that I think does not get told by popular media, right? You all are independent filmmakers, and popular media tends to show things from a certain lens that I don't think always is honest about who we are as humans and people. So I just want you all to talk a little bit about those moments, how you're able to capture these moments, and this attention to detail. Like, how do you capture these moments of Black love that's not stereotypical, right? Talk a little bit about that, some of those moments that you decided to capture and put in your films.
I can start on that. I think the moments, that I personally choose to capture, are just based off of, a deeper understanding of the culture to begin with. Like, when the lens is from the outside, it's more of an interpretive lens than one that actually just understands what's going on. So when stuff starts happening, they just kind of assign like whatever they want to assign to it. But, they're just universal understandings about, the images that I feel like people like us create. I know, speaking for myself, that's definitely the case. But Black people, just understand certain things in a way that other people just won't. So, it makes it easier to identify those points of connection when you know that there's that universal understanding, when you show it to other people that look like you.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback over that. So, like, there were parts of like within your film, I felt like I've never been to Mechanicsville, but I've been to Mechanicsville now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were pieces in there, like just these little moments, like the kids on the bikes, that took me back to when I was young and riding bikes in my neighborhood, right? So I thought that was really well done, because I could connect to that. So what about you, Quincy? Like, the moments that you focused in on.
Yeah. Well, for sure, the final moments of the film, where the I guess you can call him the main character, is kind of leaving Earth. That's that moment there is something that I wanted to be special, and I edited the film during the whole during COVID and like everything that's going on in the world right now, and I wanted I wanted to make sure that I added just like how you just kind of like how you said, like watching the kids like riding the bikes in the street. Like I used the song in there by Donny Hathaway because that was something that my grandma used to listen to, and the reason why I added that song in there is because I wanted people to feel that moment of like just sitting around your grandmother and she's just playing music. You know,
Mm.
I don't know if that got through in the film itself, but that was my point of putting that in there. Um, and just other little elements too. The guy that's doing the shooting in the film, he has on a shirt that says "Pure," and
Mm.
that was something that I talked to him about a lot about was that moment in the film when he takes those lives. That was his first time ever doing that, so he's
Mm.
no longer pure. And also, and it's kind of a funny thing. They're getting in, they're doing this drive-by shooting in a Kia Soul. So and a lot of the film is about our souls leaving Earth, and every character that got shot that night, it's like we're watching their final moments and their soul leaving Earth. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other piece, like you said, even with the moments with the guy that was doing the shooting, I think for me, when I think about someone shooting someone, we often think about this person with this ill intent. But I thought what you captured that was really, really dope was it was like this moment, like you said, like he lost his innocence and he wasn't like happy about what he did. He was like shocked in what he and how he did it.
right,
So I thought that was a really powerful moment that you were able to slow down and capture and then rewinded it.
yeah,
So
and
yeah.
he was under a lot of peer pressure too. That was something else wanted people to feel from him too. Was just how peer pressure can affect you in those moments.
Yeah, and Logan, I feel like with your film, there were a lot of these small moments that I thought were really beautiful. So, for example, like even when opening up and you had the mom with the baby and then the elder on the other side, um, I thought that was a powerful moment and played into, in my opinion, even the title. I'm not sure what you were trying to convey with that. I don't want to assume it, but what I got from that was there's even a transition of generations. But I don't want to. How did you? What were the moments? What were some of the moments that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, a lot of these shots were taken just again in spaces that um, I've already kind of
Mm.
consistently been in or had the time to sit in and observe, or that are just even just close to me. Um, like yeah, like you were saying with the beginning shot, um, I was just thinking about uh, just things still being passed down generations from generations, and even like the elder. Later in the film, it's kind of like a shot of this funeral scene. And that was actually her funeral. That
Uh-huh.
was my great grandmother. Um, and you know, still just thinking about how her spirit. The person talking was kind of talking about a shrine and kind of like when the shrine isn't there. And I kind of think about the body in itself as a form of a shrine. But the spirit continues to move on. But yeah, just with that, as well as my folks in North Florida, like some folks I went to school with, the guys with the slugs, the grills, and whatnot. Like I filmed a lot of this stuff just through over time. I didn't necessarily, when I was filming it, it wasn't with the intention of putting it together that's how I put it together. It was just kind of later after observing everything, and I decided I wanted to make a piece with it.
Wow. So it just kind of fit.
Yeah.
There was a quote in your piece, Artemis, that I wanted to that I thought stood out to me. It said, "It's not the money that makes you have pleasure; it's in the struggle in which you dug deep to find that treasure."
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was actually demonstrated throughout the film. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's just pertaining to the quote, the context, that the main character Chili was delivering in was just having people understand first, just where his mind was coming from as a young poet. Like he's presented as a rapper, like in the film, and I mean that is what he does, but he transitioned to that, just primarily like from being a poet. He decided to start doing rap specifically as a way to still just deliver the same messages in his poetry, but in a form, that translates better for a larger majority of people. So, as it pertains to like me personally, like I relate to it because, just a lot of the things, that you get out of life, uh, is all of the moments, associated with that achievement that really make it. I think all of us discover at some point that, just attaining money isn't really like the hard part. It's the fact that it's just so difficult to do it in any type of way, whether it be legal or illegal. Like, it's just an inherent risk, just with existence. So when you achieve anything, you really feel it.
Yeah, that really, really, really resonated with me because I think even in each of the pieces that I saw it's kind of threaded throughout was it's not about the money. It was about like even particularly in yours, Logan, about the culture, right? And how culture is really what it's about in importance, right? Culture and community. Um, you want to say anything about that?
Yeah. The community, it helps. Let me see. Community, it brings some sort of comfort, as well as I want to say acknowledgement, but just pretty much, giving you the thumbs up that you're kind of doing, what you're supposed to do, as well as just giving you like some sort of guide. Um, and culture just in general just shapes how it just shapes how you decide to continue to just live within this life. Um, and that is what shapes your ritual, that is what shapes your practice. And again, it just continues to flow generation after generation.
Yeah, kind of passed down, handed down.
Yeah.
Some of it is handed down through, like you said, someone teaching you, and some of it you just pick up, right? Some things are in our genetics, some things are in our genes. That's why I think, like, even looking at like a lot of those images that you had, I saw generations. Like the closing image with the dad on the bike with the two kids. I felt like that was sort of like, showing how the energy kind of transfers from one person to the next. So yeah. So Quincy, can you talk a little bit about your piece? Your piece was sort of on the darker side of Black life with um, uh, a young man taking the life of other Black men. You want to talk a little about that?
Yeah. So as far as it being a piece focused on. Like, one of the things that I got a lot, especially because I released it around, I want to say it was around April when I released it, and just everything that was going on around that time. A lot of people were coming to me and talking about like how it was kind of shedding light on like black on black crime and stuff like that. And like when I made the film, that wasn't something that I wanted to focus on. It was more so just just like how I said that quote, like how the quote inspired me to make the film, and just to shed light on like how we make decisions as humans, and how those decisions can affect not only us but affect other people as well. And and like having both of the characters in there praying, especially the character that's dying at the end, is kind of like I wanted it to feel sort of like he was, he's asking God for forgiveness because he knows that this is his final moments being on earth. So yeah.
All right. So I think we are coming up on the end of this. What is one thing that do you have any upcoming projects that are coming out that people can check out? And is there any way? What is your social media contacts for someone to get at you?
Well, my social media is I only have Instagram, and that's Eyes from Nature. And I do have a project that I'm working on right now. I don't really want to share too many details on it, but it's just to kind of sum it up a little bit. It's a short film about two prisoners that escape from prison, and one of the prisoners gets shot and passes away, and they're chained together. So basically, the other prisoner is trying to get free from the chain, and he has to also deliver a letter to the other prisoner's wife. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you have any other projects you want people to check out? And how can they
Oh,
see more of your work?
yeah, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can just go on YouTube and type in Quincy Coppage, and it should be the first thing to pop up. Yeah, and that
Thank
will
you.
work. Yeah.
All right. How about you, Artemis?
I got a whole bunch of things going on, even though it's 2020. I just kind of like to I'm a quiet type of worker, so I would say the best thing anybody can do is go to my website, artemisjenkins.com, because I'm really going to be engaging, my website more. I have social media. I got Instagram, and I lurk around on Twitter and read things. It's a good place to get news, but I don't really post a lot to the internet just because I personally, I guess because of the length of time I've been working, I just have a different idea for where I want my work to be and how I want it to be presented. Also, like, Candyman ain't gonna be in theaters, and or it ain't gonna come out on demand. It's because it's a lot of work, that goes into like what you put out, and to just have it, you know, I understand like you do a whole feature length film, you want somebody to watch it on something other than a phone. So me personally, one of the things I'm really excited about, I got an exhibition coming up at the Atlanta Contemporary Art Museum, but that's in February, and you're gonna have to come out to be able to see it. And I don't have a problem with that. But I'm also working on some other things, just with the stuff that I already have, like a lot of my older work. I've been going through that and figuring out how to repurpose it, how to update it, in terms of like how people consume it and how I present it. Like I own all of my work, so I can re-edit it if I want to. So I'm just working on things like that. The best place to keep up on what I do with it will be my website. I'm gonna type that in the chat.
Say it for us one more time.
Artemis.
I
I
think
just
you
said
went
all
kind
that.
of.
I was on mute. My bad.
I wonder what happened. Sorry.
Nah, I muted my mic as I was typing. I was saying, anything you type my name in, as long as you spell it right, just with the U instead of the I, it's going to pop up and it's going to be me. So artemisjenkins.com.
All right, solid. And Logan.
Yeah, I'm actually finishing up a little short now that I do plan for you to only be able to see on my website, which I'm also working on. That should be finished sometime soon. You'll be able to find out, when it's finished. I plan to release them both at the same time, but you'll be able to find that out through my Instagram, Logan_Lynette.
All right. So we got a few more minutes. I got one last thing that I want to ask y'all. We're living in some really difficult times, and it sounds like you all are still working through COVID and a lot of the racial uprisings. What is one thing you want people to take away from this time as an artist? What is one thing you want people to take away from this time?
I could start. One thing I want people to just really resonate with is the need for self-reliance and discipline. I think a lot of us, have been exposed in just the areas where we were lacking, and getting through this in a way that doesn't involve you crying and staying in the house every day. Involves just really being self-reliant and disciplined, basically. Because the system that we live within is the antithesis of that. So to get a better result, I think discipline and self-reliance, really exercising those things, are good takeaways.
All right, discipline and self-reliance.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Just being able to be with yourself and to be comfortable with being with yourself is important right now. And also would just like to say, just form your own opinions on a lot of things. Don't I just feel like we shouldn't let the media control too much of what we're thinking right now. It's good for us to kind of look at everything that's going on and to just form our own opinions on it. And yeah, stay safe, most definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I think one thing that has been continuously brought up for me during this whole pandemic situation is, the need to rest and that it's okay to do that. Because, I'm the type that I always feel the need to be, productive 24/7 and getting all this stuff done. But, it's been hit multiple times where it's just just sit down, as well as a lot of artists kind of who currently don't really feel like making work or just kind of just feel down with everything. But again, sometimes you just need to rest and recharge.
Yeah, I definitely dig that, and I appreciate you saying that. I think I heard someone say, I don't want to mess up who it is. I think it was Bell Hooks that said, "Rest is a form of resistance." I might have the person wrong, and maybe misquote a little bit, but I agree with you. So that's about it. I really appreciate you all taking the time and coming and talking a little bit more about your films and your artwork. I definitely, like I said before, have an appreciation for artists because you all have the ability to tell stories from angles that some people don't see, and it's honest. And artists say things that politicians can't, right? And I think people need to appreciate and respect artists a lot more. So I thank you all for taking time out to come and share your work with Afrikana Independent Film Festival, and again, talking to the people about your pieces.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
All right. And you see how you can get at all of the artists with their social media contacts, websites. And this has been Afrikana 2020. Join the conversation, and we're out.
Y'all take it easy.
All right.